Hi again, fifth graders. Today's lesson is called Similar Figures. So here we go. This tells us that Jeffrey has his school picture taken every year. The pictures come in three sizes. They suggest the idea of similar figures. So you can kind of guess what similar figures are just based on that. And down here it tells us that similar figures have the same shape. They may or may not have the same size. Usually we think of them as having a different size, but in that if they're exactly the same size and shape, we call them congruent, but they're also similar. Mostly though here, we're just looking for the same size, and a lot of times the shapes, the same shape, and a lot of times the size will be different. Now there's something a little bit confusing about similar figures with triangles. Um, I want you to notice, you've got this big triangle and you've got this little triangle, and they're giving you the measures of the angles. 35, 35, 55, 55, and we know that this right angle is 90 degrees. Wouldn't you think that the big triangle would maybe have bigger angle measures than the little triangle? Well, that's not the case, because remember, every triangle, the angles have to add up to 180. If you were to add 135, 55, and 90, it comes out to 180. And that's just a thing that is true about all triangles. So in similar figures like triangles and rectangles and pentagons and hexagons, similar figures have equal angle measures, equal. Okay, so the angles are going to be the same. Okay, now this statement right here is just about the whole triangle though. If you were to say it, you would say that triangle oops, I'm going the wrong way, ABC is similar to triangle DEF. And when you write it, it looks like that. You put the triangle symbol in front of each one. You use 3 capital letters to name each triangle. If it were a rectangle, you'd use 4 capital letters. And then we've got a new symbol here. That little wavy thing says is similar to, is similar to. Okay, so here's a question. Are the corresponding sides of the triangles congruent? Remember, corresponding are those are the sides that match up. So this side is a corresponding side to this one. If you took your ruler and measured this side, would it be the same as that? I think it's pretty clear that the answer to that is no. Question 2, are the corresponding angles congruent? And we've already dealt with that, and the answer is yes. And again, they have to match up. Angle A and angle D are congruent to each other. Angle B and angle E, because they are corresponding angles, and angle C and angle F, because they are corresponding angles in similar figures. They will be equal. Okay, so down here at the bottom, number 3, write the letters of the shapes that are similar. Do you think any of those shapes match up with each other uh, in terms of being similar, not congruent? Well, I think that this one is too long or too wide here to match up with this one, so I'm going to say no to, oh no, I'm sorry, we're looking at similar, not congruent. Actually, though, I still say this is too long. Okay, it's much wider than this. The shapes are not quite the same. What about these two here? They're both what shape? Shaped like home plate. They're both pentagons, and I think they appear to both be regular pentagons, meaning all the sides and angles are the same. So those two, B and C, would be similar figures. Okay, it says, are the figures similar? Write yes or no. So it's just a yes or no thing. Number 4, it appears to me that those are indeed similar. If you were to put this on the copy machine and tell it to blow it up to a bigger size, it would become that, I believe. So I'm going to say yes to this. What about number 5? They're both trapezoids. Could you trace one and put it over top of the other one? Oh, I'm going back to congruent again. We have to look at the shape, not the size. I see a right angle here in this one, and there is no right angle in that one. So I'd say that's a no. Number 6. At first glance, you might want to say yes to that, but the fact of the matter is, what shape is that? That is an octagon, 8 sides, and this is a hexagon, 6 sides, okay? So it would definitely have to have the same number of sides to be similar. So this is a big no. Number 7. I believe that this is a square and this is a square. And so that means any squares are going to be similar to each other. They are the same shape. So this is a yes. Now, I know that in the classroom, my smartboard distorts things a little bit. I'm not sure if your image is a little distorted. This one looks kind of not squarish, but it is supposed to be a square. I'm not sure how it looks on your screen. Number 8. I believe what we've got there is 2 equilateral triangles. So they would, all the sides would be the same length on both of them. That would be a yes. I hope when you look at number 9, you see a parallelogram here and a rectangle here. Those are not the same shape, so that is a no. All right, then we've got for number 10, I think we've got a right triangle here, and they look like they're about the same shape, so we're going to go yes for that one. Number 11 is a little confusing. 1, 2, 3, 4 sides, 1, 2, 3, 4 sides. So it does have the same number of sides. Do you think if you were to put one of these on the copy machine and increase its size, if it would be equal to the other one? And I kind of feel like this side right here compared to this side right here, it's only about half. But I think this right here, the corresponding sides, I think this one's more than half, so I'm going to have to say no to this one. And number 12, again, I'm not sure if you're getting the distortion I'm getting here, but they are both rectangles, and I believe they appear like they are similar. So we're going to say yes to that. Number 13, you're going to get a question like this on your homework. It says, copy the triangle at the right on graph paper. Then draw a similar triangle with sides twice as long. I'll do the best I can here without the graph paper. This is 1, 2, 3, 4 units long. So I would need to make my new triangle 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 units long. This is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 units wide. So I would be going off the paper here to go 12. 1, 2, 3, and so on up to 12. And then we would simply connect that then. On your homework paper, you will have graph paper, so you will have a good space to do that question in.